in the last days that I was in the classroom, and I always say it's always so exciting to be able to observe the wisdom behind the methodology. And it's one of those when you watch, you're like, yeah, that really is, that's really genius. So of course there's always many opportunities over the time that I was in the classroom, but this one pertains to the brilliance of the multi-age classroom. And sometimes parents are surprised by the unorthodox concept of the multi-age classroom, and they wonder what the benefits of those are and why did Maria Montessori group children in classrooms that are multi-aged instead of peers that are the same age, and she divided the children into groups based on her observations and her studies that the 3-year periods of cognitive development, which are also referred to as the planes of development, work best. And sometimes parents will say, well, what are some of those benefits of the kids being together? And this is based on my observations with an older child and a younger child, because in the multi-aged classroom, the younger children gain knowledge through their observations of watching the older children. And they'll watch the children, the younger children will watch the older children doing some of the advanced materials, and they admire and they aspire to be like them. And so they'll sit and they'll observe, and then they're motivated by that. And then on the flip side, the older children are empowered by that. They're empowered by the leadership. They're empowered by being able to be helpful into seeing the results of their assistance and seeing the younger children grow through that. And we had one little boy in our classroom this year, and he was having difficulty normalizing and adhering to the ground rules of the community. And he was often disruptive, and he would often interfere with the other children, and the children were becoming really impatient with him. And this one older girl recognized that. She recognized that, and she took it upon herself to invite him to do a lesson with her. And she sat with him and she engaged him for over 30 minutes. It was so, and during that time, she would remind him of some of the ground rules. And she would say, remember to lower your voice and to use your gentle hands and to roll your rug. And he was so receptive, much more receptive to him or to her than he was to even the teachers. And I love this. She even taught him to count the legs of a bug to determine if it was an insect or a spider. And at the end of the morning, she invited him, when we all sit down as a group, she invited him to sit next to her on the line because she recognized that was a difficult time for him. So during the group, he would respond to her when she would say, cross your legs, or, you quiet your voice, and much more than he would respond to the teachers. And then when it was time to take his bathroom break, at first he refused. The teacher invited him, it's your turn to take your bathroom time, and he refused until this older child said, oh, no, that's it. And he got up and marched in and took his bathroom time. And just that genius behind an older peer being the example for the younger. The older one felt helpful, she felt empowered, she felt like she was a leader. The younger one felt encouraged, he felt accepted, and it was just so neat just to witness that. And the multi-age concept, it's just a win-win for all children. So that's my little Montessori moment.
Awesome.
Thank you.